students, this is Veena, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today I am here to talk about or to give introduction to the speaking skills, which is one of the most important aspect in developing your communication skills. Speaking skills will make you not only expand your knowledge but also connects your relation to the other people all over the world. So, developing speaking skills is one of the important aspect which everyone has to imbibe and inculcate. Therefore, speaking skills help you in relating you to others and also solve your problems and also make everyone know about you and become friends to you. So, therefore, speaking skills helps in building relations, in solving the misunderstandings, in making you expand and prepare you for the world outside. So, therefore, today we are going to talk about speaking skills. Let us get started. What is speaking skill? Why is it important in the today's global scenario? How is that it is going to play major role in today's communication? Let us get started. Language is a tool of communication. So, speaking is the entity which will make the language enhance and make others to understand. It is the tool for communication. It is the major tool which will make others know about you through verbal platform. So, communication takes place where there is speech. How will the communication possible? Where there is speech. Of course, there is non-verbal communication, but speech plays major role in the way of communication. That is the reason one has to learn effective speaking skills to stand in this global scenario, and also it will help you in growing your professional skills by sharing your ideas, by sharing your advancements, by sharing your thoughts and views to the other people on the professional platform. Now, the use of language is an activity which takes place within the confines of your community. If you are having a language, that is either it can be your regional language or it can be a state language, national language, or it can be international language, what does it happen? It helps you to make you to have relationship with your community. So, language is the very important entity in speaking. Without language, you cannot speak. You must be able to understand the language before you speak. And the other person communicating to you must also should understand the language what you are speaking. So, there must be a common language for communication such that your language skills will also develop, and also it will make each other understand what is that you both are going to share, whether it is an idea, whether it is an information or any such concept, whichever you are going to project or convey to the other person. Now, what is speaking? Speaking is an act of making vocal sounds. Vocal, that is that which is related to your vocal cords. Okay, so speaking is related to the sound of your vocal cords. The sound which comes from your vocal cords with the system of vocalization. Therefore, the speaking is nothing but it is an act of making vocal cords sounds. We can say that speaking means to converse or expressing one's thoughts. What is speaking? When I want to express something, when I want to tell someone about some information, or when I want to convey some information to a person, whether it is a good thing, whether it is a bad thing, or any kind of research oriented, any kind of feeling, when I want to share, I am going to project in the form of speaking, so that the other person who is opposite to me understand what I am rendering and will respond to whatever is said. Next, to speak often implies conveying information. When you are in the work zone, it is important, very, very important, to speak, to communicate. You are a bundle of many ideas, but when you are unable to communicate it to your fellow colleagues, how will it get expanded? How will it can be recognized? So always try to convey information. Always try to say the information or express your thoughts out to others, such that they will come to know what you feel, what do you want, or what you have invented. So it is nothing but conveying information. These skills allow the speaker to convey his message in a passionate, thoughtful, and convincing manner. It should be formal. It should be having the mood of passion and also thoughtful. That means your speech must make others think. It must make others think and interpret and maybe suggest you for whatever information you are looking for. So, speaking skills is the entity which has integrated, which has a major element, that is language involved in it. Point 1. Next one, it is the system which is enabled through the vocal sounds. Third one, you are going to talk to others or convey to others the message while being passionate, thoughtful, and also through good manners. So this is the basic element which we are going to follow while we are speaking. Now, what is the significance of English speaking skills? What is that English language? Why is that English language is playing major role in speaking? Why is it given the note? Why is it called as the international language? Because English language is the international language which will make all the people stand on the common platform with a common language. It is making it possible to communicate people not only in a state, in a country, but it is moving out the borders, out of the box, and connecting people all over the world. So, therefore, English language is playing major role in speaking. It is spoken, learnt, understood even in those countries where it is not a native language. Is English a native language for us? No, it is not at all a native language. We have so many native languages with different kinds of dialects, isn't it? But still, we use English language as a common language to communicate with everyone wherever we go. So, that is the most important aspect which we all have to remember and try to learn English language and master English language in the way to develop our communication skills. Now, it is playing major role in many sectors. Let us see what are those sectors. Medicine, engineering, education, advanced studies, business, technology, banking, computing, tourism, etc. What not? It is playing major role in almost all the business entities, in all the professional grounds. English language is playing major role, and English speaking skills will make you unique among all others. Excelling in English speaking skills will help you in not only in your professional growth, but also making or creating bondage between the people around us. Next, all our software development today, the communication facilities available to us through internet, our access to a variety of websites are all being carried out in English. What is the basic language we use through internet services is English. Whatever information you look for, whichever information you look for, whatever the culture, tradition it may be, wherever it has belonged to a hook or corner of any country, you will gain the information in English language. As a result, English is being taught and learned around the world as second language today. The identity is given as a second language. Everyone, everywhere is trying to learn English language such that they communicate with others better all over the world and make their livelihood happy with good professional environment as well as family environment. Next, what are the aspects of speaking? What are the major aspects which are very, very important while speaking? First one, speaking is face to face. Try to have eye contact when you speak to the other person. We have not done any mistake to hide our contact. So, we are speaking face to face. This is one aspect of speaking. Next, speaking is interactive. Speaking must be interactive. It should not be one-sided. It should be from the both sides, whether it is a group or whether it is the individual conversation with the other. It must be interactive. You have to talk and let other person also speak, then you listen. It must be interacting. It must be sharing your ideas, your thoughts, your views, your beliefs, maybe sharing your traditions, culture, any such thing. So, it must happen face to face. It must have interactiveness in its quality. Next, speaking happens in real time. Whenever you are very, very happy, or whenever you are very, very sad, or whenever you have lots of work and you are unable to understand, try to take some time. Take some time for yourself. Communicate with others who know about that entity, who understand about that entity, and who can suggest you on that particular entity. So, speaking involves the face-to-face recognition. Speaking involves the interaction. Speaking involves the time. These are all the major aspects which are very, very important in speaking. Now, what is the purpose of speaking? Why do we have to communicate? What is the reason behind the skill of speaking? Why do we have to talk? Why do we have to speak to others? Is it important? Why can't be ourselves? Let us see. Now, purpose of speaking is for personal growth. That is, expressing personal feelings, opinions, beliefs, and ideas. We utilize speaking on personal grounds. We talk to our family members, our neighbors, our friends to express our views, our thoughts, our ideas, or our opinions. So, personal speaking can help you in develop your attitude, in develop your self-confidence. Next, descriptive. The speaking can be descriptive. You could describe something. You could hint towards something and describe it in a very, very clear and in a very, very possible manner where others are able to understand it. A person who do not know about that particular content must be able to understand through your description. So, describing in detail, being specific is also quality which is ended with the purpose of speaking. Then, narrative, that is creating the stories, telling stories to the children. Specifically, we do narrative speaking with children. We do tend to tell them stories. We do tend to tell them any kind of event which will impress them or make them interested in you. So, these are all the important things which are very, very important and purposive of speaking. Next, questioning. Instructive. That is when you instruct others, when you are going to explain some rules, guidelines of any particular thing. For example, examination. How do you instruct your friends, or how the instructions are given to you by your teachers? That is instructive speaking. Then questioning. You speak to question. You tend to question when you don't understand, or you tend to question when you want to check the other person's knowledge. So that is where the speaking also takes place. Next, comparative. When do we speak? When we compare with others. When we are pointing towards one point and relating it to the other points. So what is the purpose of speaking? We are speaking to fulfill our personal needs. We are fulfilling it to describe something. We are fulfilling it to do this narrative for narrative talks, and we are doing it for instructions. We are doing it for questioning. We are doing it to compare. So these are all the main purpose which will be fulfilled by the speaking skills. Next, imaginative. Yes, your talk could be imaginative. Whatever you think, whatever it may be possible, imagination. You can give out the form of a language to your speech. That is, when something is imagined, you can make it in the form of language, convert it into the form of language and render it to your people around you. That is your imaginative talk. Next, predictive. This may happen, that may happen, this could happen, that would have been done. So, it can be predictive. I did this, but I could have not done it. So, prediction. This is also a way of speaking. Next, interpretive. That is, you are interpreting the notion, interpreting the thinking possibilities or the thinking evaluations of certain aspect. Interpretation. That is, understanding, analyzing and interpreting the ways, different forms of thinking notions of one element can also be done through speaking. Persuasive. That is, you are going to pursue someone in regard of impressing them towards something. You can pursue them to fulfill your work, or you can pursue them to acquire a goal, or you can motivate them on common platform to fulfill their aims or goals. So you have all kind of weapons in your speech through which you can pursue, you can you can impress someone, you can do any kind of modulation through your speech and impress the other person and make him attentive towards you. Next, explanatory. When you explain, when you clarify, all these things are also part of explanatory. Next, informative. When you are providing some information to the others. Now, there are some genres of speaking. How this speaking is helpful, In what way? And what are the core genres of speaking? How do you do the modulation, or how do you use your vocal cords with respect to the situation, time, and the possibility to deliver your information to the particular person. First one, narrative. A series of everyday anecdotes you narrate to your friends, isn't it? If he is absent for a day, what do? You explain him, narrate him the series of all what you have done the complete day. I went to college, we had this class, we had lab, we had an exam, or we enjoyed outside with friends. So narration, the series of step-by-step narration of the events is possible through speech. Then identifying, extracts in which people talk about themselves. Identifying, that means making yourself identified, or identifying the people from different biographies and their lives, their jobs. You are able to learn or expand your knowledge through speaking the biographies of other people, by identifying the importance of others, and also motivating yourself to become more better. Next, language in action. Data recorded while people are doing things such as cooking, packing, anything. That means, what is language in action? When you are doing some work, you are explaining it. While action, you are speaking. That is language through action. So on many grounds, many elements, you are going to use speech as your tool, speech as your weapon to help you in the way of expanding knowledge, communicating to the others, and also expressing your opinions, views, thoughts on all the grounds, and also interpreting the different ways which are very, very useful for you to develop in the professional way. Comment elaboration. People give casual opinions. This is good, this is bad. Okay, how do? We elaborate those comments. If someone has told you about something with an opinion framed to it, what do? You try to elaborate that opinion. Is it so? Is that how it happened? Why does that happen? In what way? That means you are trying to elaborate the opinion given to you by other through your speech. Next, debate and argument. This happens very often. We debate when we don't agree to the statements when the other person is talking to us or conveying something to us. When we are not on the same platform, when we are not agreeing with others, we will tend to debate and argue with them. So speech is also a tool while arguing and also while debating. Next, decision making and negotiating outcomes. When you are taking some decision or when you are negotiating with others for something, all these things will be done, will be catered only through the speaking skills. Speech is the strongest weapon which will cater all the needs of human being through the communication and through the effective relationships which will be formed with good speaking skills. Okay, how to improve speaking skills in communication? What are the ways to improve your speaking skills in communications? First one, nervousness is normal. Practice and prepare. Yes, everyone tend to be nervous. It is a common habit any human being have. But try to practice, try to prepare. It is very important to prepare and practice. You don't need to be nervous. Maybe for the first time you will be feeling nervous, but later, once with the practice, you will stop feeling nervous and you will try to mingle with others and cooperate with others. Next, watch for feedback and adapt to it. If someone is giving you a suggestion, try to understand it. Wait for them to complete their suggestion and try to practice it in that way. Take the suggestion. Maybe it will be very, very useful to you. So, try to listen to the feedback. Try to take the feedback from the others. Next, let your personality come through. When you speak, your personality must be projected. Your presentation skill, the way you talk, the way you modulate, the body language will be projected in front of the other person. So, let your personality come through your speech. Your speech must reflect your personality. That is the most important thing which you all have to practice. It is your speech which will show your personality to the others. So when you talk carefully. When you speak, try to speak formally with low tone and on a very low volume. That will surely help you in your professional lives. Next, use humor, tell stories and use effective language. When you are doing a presentation, it is not always important to be serious. You can make humor now and then. You can crack a joke now and then to break the ice, to break that silence in that auditorium. So, using the humor or making some fun element, bringing some fun elements in your presentation is also very, very important while speaking. If not, the audience will be bored of you. They'll be bored of that seriousness if you go on giving a speech in a very serious note. So try to add some humor, add some comedy, effective knowledge which will impress others towards you. Next, don't read unless you have to. Work from an outline. So don't read unless you have to. Whenever it is important to read it out loud. If not, you explain yourself. Don't directly read a paper in front of the other standing there. It will give a very, very bad impact. Unless you are explaining a point. If there is a point, you can look into it and explain it to the other person. But if not, if you're not having any written content and you're not reading something, try to explain it in your own words. It will leave a good impact on your audience. Next, use audio visual aids. When you are making a presentation, try to use creative ways to impress your audience. Try to use imagery. Try to use pictures so that the other person who is listening to your presentation or who is watching your presentation will get interested into your presentation, into your speech. Next, use your voice and hands effectively. It is very important to modulate your voice according to the situation and use your hands effectively with the flow of the speech. It must be synchronized. Don't just do some or the other tactics standing in the group, standing to present something. Try to use your tone properly along with the movements of your hands whenever it is necessary. But not in unsynchronized manner. It must be synchronized. It must be spontaneous. It must be simultaneously done. Next, grab attention at the beginning and close with a dynamic end. At the beginning, first, as soon as you enter onto the stage, try to grab the attention of your audience. Try to say something which will surely make everyone look upon you and have eye-to-eye contact with you. So, start dynamically and end dynamically. Next, know your audience. Your speech is about them, not you. So, understand the mood of your audience. try to deliver that which will be liked by them, that which will be impressed by them. So, try to understand the notion, try to understand the gathering who are present there and deliver a speech such that it impress those audience. So, there you are talking to them. You are talking to provide some information to those people. So, try to know your audience, what kind of people, why they have come there, on what notion, what is that which is going to impress them. All these elements are the most important aspects while you are standing before your audience to present your content. So remember all these things before you give your presentation. Next comes organize your material in the most effective manner. It must be logical, it must be specific, it must convey all the important elements which you are about to talk. Give proper introduction with proper explanation and conclude dynamically with effective speech. Don't try to give your flow down or make your pace down. As the flow increases, you have to make sure that your audience don't get bored. So, give a break, take pauses, try to add humor and make all the context beautiful and also impressed such that the audience will be interested in knowing or understanding the information whatever is provided to them. So these are all the 10 elements which will help you in improving your speaking skills. Next, how to improve your spoken English? What are the main elements which will be very, very helpful in improving your spoken English? Point 1. Encourage participation. Don't sit away from the crowd. Try to mingle with the group. Try to participate in the speech, in the discussion, whatever is happening. That will surely help you in enhancing good speaking skills. Maybe initially you will not have the flow. You will not have proper language to communicate. But gradually, with practice of participation, surely your speaking ability will reach the heights and you will attain effectiveness in speaking skills. So, participate. Don't sit alone or don't get parted away from the group. Maintain eye contact. Be specific. Have the confidence to maintain eye contact with the other person, the opposite person. Maybe he is an individual or maybe it is a crowd. Try to maintain eye contact. Develop self-confidence that I am going to talk on this particular element and I have all the sequential order information which will impress my audience. So have that integrity, have that confidence in you and start speaking. It will surely boost up your energy to communicate. No problem if there are some errors initially. Slowly, gradually, with practice, surely you will improve and understand what are the mistakes and you will try to recollect and correct all those errors which have made and you'll improve more and your communication will become more better and effective. Then use your arms and hands. Don't stand like a statue when you are giving a speech, when you are speaking, while you are presenting something. Try to use your hands, your arms. Try to make a small walk on the stage and try to contact with everyone in the auditorium. Don't stand stiff, erect like a soldier or some police constable on the stage. Be free. Feel free. Expose your feelings. Tell your thoughts. Express your ideas, your notions. Give your suggestions. Project your content with ease, with specific entities or elements which will impress your audience. Know your audience, understand your audience, and along with verbal communication, you can also use non-verbal signs such that it will impress and make your audience attract towards you. So this is also one of the most important entity. Next, smile. Smile, not laugh. Smile is different from laughing. A small smile will surely make others attracted towards you. So try to attract with your smile. Smile now and then whenever it is necessary to break that ice of seriousness. Next, walk around. Move around the stage. Try to have eye contact with the person who is in the corner of the auditorium or a person in the other corner of the auditorium. Just don't stick to a place. Try to move around. Try to be free. Talk freely. Be specific. Add humor. All these are very, very important while you're speaking. If you inculcate the habit and practice all these things, surely you will make effective speech in front of your audience. So, these are all the skills which are very, very important to develop your speaking skill. Next, how to improve speaking? Let us see. Incorporating vocabulary into speaking. Before you speak, you must know what to speak, the content. If you have selected a content, you must be able to project that content with suitable, appropriate vocabulary. Use words which are relevant to that context, which are relevant to that topic. Only then your audience will understand that correctly with all the meaningful entity. Next, taking part in public speaking contests. Try to take part, not as an audience, as a speaker. Maybe initially it will be tough job, but gradually you will learn speaking, you will learn all the elements which are needed to become a good public speaker. You will also stop making mistakes in between and make your communication effective. Next, trying to use the language on a daily basis. So not just talking English only on the professional platform, only at your workplace. Try to talk now and then in your daily life. If you start practicing language all the time, it will surely make your language more effective. Next, English plays. Try to watch English plays. Try to watch English dramas so that you understand the slang, the intonation, the modulation, the accent of people around you. Next, knowing the pronunciations well. Try to learn to pronounce words correctly, significantly. This will surely improve your speaking skill. Next, framing correct sentences with proper grammar. Try to learn the basics of grammar. Prepare proper sentences with subject-verb agreement. This is the very, very important context to make your English language more better. Then, very, very important thing, being confident. Be confident enough to face the audience and deliver the speech and convey them your ideas, your thoughts, your expressions. So, confidence is the most important characteristic which you have to build for making effective public speech. Now, what is this? How many kinds of speaking things we can find? One is monologues, that is person talking alone, giving a speech without the other person interaction, that is monologue. Next, dialogues. Speaking can happen through dialogues. Then transactions, through the deals, through the business transactions, through negotiations, through interactions, through role plays. All these elements will surely develop your speaking ability. Then, how important is speaking in our daily lives? What are the main characteristics which will be very, very useful to you in your daily life while speaking? It forms connections, it influences decisions and motivate change. Speaking helps you to form connections. It will help you in changing your decisions, in maybe interpretation of different levels of thinking. So, it will motivate you in many ways through making you acknowledge about all the entities or the people who are surrounded by you. Next, public speaking is one of the important and most dreadful forms of communication. One has to acquire the practice or learn the entity of speaking skill before public. Don't be introvert. Try to be extrovert. Try to talk. Try to mingle. Try to communicate such that your speaking skills have the scope to get excelled. Then it will help you in developing good, excellent communication skills, enthusiasm, and the ability to engage with an audience. It will develop your communication skills, creates that enthusiasm, that interest in your audience. Next, conversation practice enables language learners to assimilate their acquired knowledge. That is, to gather lots of knowledge around you, integrating a variety of cognitive skills. That is, while speaking to other people, you will be confronting people who are the who have the knowledge of great exposure towards many elements, towards many things happening around. So through speaking, you will be able to acquire such knowledge from the people around you, that which help you in expand knowledge and also develop your communication skills. Speaking English allows you to actually broaden your world. That is, it will make your world big. You can talk to anyone. You can communicate to anyone. The ability to speak and write correctly will expose you to the entire world. The world will be very, very small, but it is very broadened for you to communicate and for you to mingle with other people all over the world. Next, it is through language that we communicate with the world, isn't it? Now, define our identity. How is that we are going to communicate to the world? In what way? We define our identity. Then, we express our history and culture. We learn and defend our human rights. We participate in all aspects of society. Through speaking, you will expose your culture. Through speaking, you will try to make others understand the relevance and importance of our culture, our civilization, our human rights, and different aspects of our society, such that you will become more closer to them and you know them more. You will learn about others' culture and you are knowing about other culture, and also you are delivering or giving information about your culture and civilization to the entire world. That is, it is exchange of information, exchange of beliefs, exchange of customs can happen through the speaking skills. Next, active speaking skills will help you and your colleagues more often useful exchanges. What do? You exchange your views, you exchange your thoughts to your colleagues such that your expressing of your information or your beliefs will change the system, will make it acquaint to that particular system. It is very, very important for the success of your career to make you place in the right position in your professional career, speaking skills plays major role. Not only speaking skills, all the LSRW skills, listening, speaking, reading, writing, play effective role in developing your communication skills. So try to enhance, try to practice, and make yourself expertise in all these four skills of English language, such that your professional development will be attaining to the peaks of success. So, therefore, the speaking skills are the most important skills which will help you in developing and enhancing your communication skills. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.